Alrighty, so the finals of week 1 was concluded, and I'm a little bit late uploading this video, so apologies for that. But let's go through my attacks, my defensive strategy, and everything in between. Let's get into it. Alrighty, we are up against a gentleman known as Vinitar, and he had already full cleared me, one-shot full clear with 2658 banners, pretty good banners there. So let's take a look at his defense. I knew that this guy was going to be tough. He had a lot more relics than me, a lot better mods than me. Top walls we see Nightsisters, JTR, Smudgy, First Order and First Order. Southern section is where we've got the tough teams. We've got JKL with JML and Watt. We've got a very fast DR at 344 with Basti and Malak at R7, and then a fairly weak-looking General Grievous team. So now I did some research into counters to this JKL JML team, and because he was faster than my DR, I decided I wanted to try and save my JML. So I saw a counter online of JKR lead with JKL and Gas taking out the JML JKL variant. So I wanted to put it to the test. Now, the only issue with this was that I didn't check that the turn order on my team was correct, and it completely ended up throwing me. So what normally happens here is we get the direct focus on JKL, it increases his cooldowns, but normally we have the opportunity here for JKL to go first to pass Jedi's will over to Gas before the hit from Gas. Unfortunately, my Gas is too quick and he doesn't end up one-shotting the JKL. And unfortunately, it all just unravels. We cannot kill any of the units here and we end up getting absolutely destroyed. So this was my fault for testing out a counter that I had never used before without confirming the turn order that I had in my team was correct. And it essentially cost me the entire GAC, unfortunately. Isn't that right, Mr. Bear? But it is what it is. You learn lessons from this, guys. Smudgy's being very loving right now. We learn lessons from this, and we know in future not to attempt this particular counter, because if you don't take out the JKL at the start, it's just this, you can't recover. He equalizes the speed with you. In hindsight, maybe if I'd have gone Jedi Knight Luke lead here, might have given me a better chance. I don't know, probably not at the end of the day. In future, I will just take my own Jedi Knight Luke up against this. My own Jedi Master Luke, sorry, up against it, and save myself the heartache. Because, yeah, this was the finals, and we knew we needed a one-shot full clear in order to get the win, and it all just goes pear-shaped. Big sad. Big sad. We decide to actually go out and clear out the Darth Revan team now as the second battle. I originally was going to use Jedi Master Luke against this team, and I know that would have completely had no issues. Instead, because I still have that Luke team in the south, I needed to improvise. So I went through with a counter that is fairly well known, but does not have a very good success rate, to be honest with you guys, simply because you need to have a very good tech to deal with it. So you're going with a Thrawn lead with Vader, and I take in Sith Empire Trooper as my final tank. Sith Empire Trooper is there to pre-taunt, so your Vader does not get feared. There goes the fears. We immediately go into Merciless here. We drop down some debuffs, I believe. Yeah, targeting Malak. Then we yeet Revan out of there. That gets rid of the leadership. We then just look to... Okay, sorry about that. Some technical difficulties there. So we get rid of Darth Revan, and then we're just left with Basti and Malak. Now that Malak is R3, there's not a whole lot I can do about this apart from hope to keep him ability blocked. We go ahead and I believe we just get the... What do we do here? Oh, we turn me to swap over to Vader, is it? No, we cleanse the debuffs to get a bunch of extra TM. Do we fracture Malak here? Turn me to swap over to Vader. We try and get him some additional turns. Now we fracture Malak. Yeet out Basti. Unfortunately, we're straight out of the fracture immediately, which is a bit of a shame. Try and cleanse. Just a basic, get the ability block. Turn me to swap over to Vader, hoping to get round to another fracture. Get another fracture off on him. We go into Merciless. We drop the dots. And then we try and yeet him. Unfortunately, he survives with a sliver of health. If that hit would have killed him, would have been fine, but now we are just we're gonna get yeeted. It's unfortunate. It was very close to being a one-shot clear, but about that much away from getting it done. A little bit of a shame, but it is what it is, guys. We'll just take this loss on the chin, and we'll have to clean up later. So in order to clear out the Malak, I decided to actually go in with the Resistance Hero Brothers, because I kept them for offense. So I go in with the full Resistance Hero Brothers team with OG Finn and the 2 Bag Brothers. We just want to try and control, get that burst DPS, keep him stunned hopefully, and just hope that he doesn't drain us immediately. Here comes the mass assist, boop, da boop, da boop, and then one more hit, and he's gone. Great, 34 banners, but we know we've definitely lost at this point, guys. So we go for the clear out on the JML team now. I take in Jedi Master Luke Skywalker, Hermit Yoda, and Grandmaster Yoda, which in future is the team that I'll take right at the start. Because as you can see, it actually controls this team quite well. We don't have really much of an issue winning this team. It might not be great for banners, but really I would much rather have done this first of all and got the full clear, and we then could have used some form of Jedi Knight Revan, Jedi Knight Luke team to take out that Darth Revan. But hindsight, guys, as always, is 50-50. Calling in GMY there to assist, get the advantage, increase the cooldowns on his Luke. Then we just look to increase our health, keep ourselves nice and healthy, because we know with that Watt over there, that Watt is going to be keeping that JML alive for a very long time. Just keep feeding the bonus turn to GMY, because he's going to be gaining 40% additional TM when he attacks someone with over 50% health. Super useful. I keep doing this to keep ourselves nice and healthy with Hoda, calling in Hoda to assist when we can, and GMY when we don't. I think I do this just to gain a bit of extra TM again on Hoda. We look to get rid of Wat Tambor before he can place that additional tech on JKL. And I think we look to use this just to get our last lot of ultimate meter charged. Yeah, beautiful. There's the ultimate meter all charged. Go into our ultimate stance. And I accidentally reapply Master's Training onto JML, even though we already had it. If I'd have put that onto Yoda, we would have been even better off here. Big bop, we get rid of them. And then it's just clean up on Jedi Master Luke. We've got 3.5 minutes to chew through all that bonus protection he has. I'm not too concerned. Not bonus protection, obviously. His tank tech recovering his protection. I'm not too concerned. I think I've got enough DPS here. My JML is R8 and does have offense primary and a crit damage triangle on cross and triangle. So I'm feeling confident that I'll be able to clear it. I'm just trying to call in Hoda here to get as much additional healing as possible. We now place the additional Master's Training on GMY, so we should be looking quite pretty now, because obviously he does recover a lot there. Does recover a lot. Increase the cooldowns there, and then we just keep on calling GMY to assist. Do the damage where we can. And I think now is when I decide to go full offense instead of calling in Hermit Yoda all the time. Tried to increase his cooldowns there, didn't quite work. Reduce his turn meter, sorry, didn't quite work. But it's okay. So we just go ham now, just focus down that Jedi Master, try and get rid of all that bonus protection as quickly as possible. Here's the calls, boop, da boop, da boop. I think we spread that for the additional bonus protection. Call in GMY, get the extra turns. AoE, once again we try to reduce his turn meter. We don't land it, he got the extra resist again, which is always frustrating. Get our own F-Lux off. Increase the cooldowns again, keep calling in GMY, gain the bonus turn meter as frequently as possible. Even more turn meter on GMY. He does do pretty good damage, guys. Mine is, I believe, modded for offense here. So it does help. I think if I wasn't modded for offense here, we would probably struggle quite heavily. We finally get a turn meter reduction on JML, and it's looking like at this point that we should be golden. Get the extra damage. Spread the buffs just to maintain our position here. Increase the cooldowns. Big heal once again. Now if we'd have taken this in at the start, first turn, we would have been so much better off, guys. We would have been so much better off. Because that would have been good banners. We would have gotten ahead of the team, and it would have been a different story for this particular GAC. Unfortunately, not to be the case this time. So we go straight in. We want to be taking out this General Grievous. I end up taking in Shaak T with 5s and Rex. Fairly standard counter for us, guys. We know that this will be fine. The Magna Guard and the B2 are both gear 12, so they don't have a whole lot of health and protection. We know we're going to be chewing through them quite quickly, so it's just a case of making sure we don't lose too many units. Not always possible, but it is how it's going to be. We just run through here, pretty standard stuff. I don't think I really needed to heal up Rex there. I probably could have just basicked and tried to get rid of the taunt and save the heal for later. But I think at this point I was a little bit triggered from the bad start to the GAC. We did the call to assist there with 5s because he had buff immunity, so he wasn't going to gain the taunt anyway. Now I believe Magna Guard is about to bite the dust. We get the sacrifice, which means banners are going to be terrible once again. And now we heal up Rex, which makes a lot more sense. And then we just Rex Lake GG. Terrible, terrible banners, but I was really in a bad mood, so I didn't care. So we reveal the back section, and in the back section we take a look and we see that the teams back here are trash, basically. And if we would have had of our full teams, we would have one-shot full cleared this whole defense, no problem. I go up against the Kylo Ren team now. I think I just go in with Darth Revan and Basti Fallen. I think this was the team that I planned to take against these guys anyway, because I knew I didn't have Jedi Knight Luke to usually my usual counter to Kylo Ren, but I know that DR does great work against crew teams anyway. You've got the shock that basically stops them from healing so much. So, you know, if you don't have any way of controlling crew like that, then you'll often struggle to break through his regen on his protection and health. But we know that with DR and Basti, we're going to get good banners and no danger of losing this one. Here we go, we get 55 there, which is rather nice. I think the other First Order team, we go in with a Malak solo. And again, guys, I swear I've done this before plenty of times on stream and certainly in some of my videos, but Malak can solo pretty much any Phasma comp that you'll come across in 3v3 and 5v5. The only thing you have to be concerned about is getting stun locked by Kylo Ren. Now, obviously you don't use your drain life on OG Kylo simply because you'll take reduced damage from it. So the idea here is to save your drain lives and focus down the Kylo Ren originally. You want to try and get to that triple stack of drain essence or drain life, so that you'll start inflicting heal immunity on your basic, and then you just want to get rid of Kylo Ren and use your life drain on the ads instead. I believe we just get rid of here. Yep, so we've got the triple stack now. That's maxed out our offense, lets us apply healing immunity on a basic, which is kind of important to take out this Kylo Ren. So we just keep on plowing away at him. The shock also stops him gaining TM, also stops his health. So we've got nice control over him right now. No point using the drain. I want to save it until I've just got Phasma on her own, so we can get the full banners for this victory. OG Kylo is gone. I saved the drain life again until I've taken off all her protection, so I know that I can max out full health, full protection banners there. 56, easy dub. This, I believe, is where it all goes a bit Pete Tong. Now, we take out the Nightsister team. I want to save by using Padme. Yeah, so we go in against the Nightsister team with Padme and JKA. We did this in the previous round, but against a slightly different, weaker comp. I believe it still works out okay for us though. We just look to try and get the double kills that we need so that we can start working on Daka. Reverse that up, can't get stunned when you've got that bonus protection. Get rid of zombie. The zombie's pretty weak in this case, guys. It's only a gear 11 zombie, so that makes our lives a little bit easier. There's the 2 kills that we need. Now we just need to get rid of Daka and then Asajj. Luckily, with this zombie being so weak, it makes it a lot easier for us to manage it, because it's just dying in one hit from a basic Anakin. We do another AoE here. I believe this kills Asajj. Nearly kills Daka. We get the bonus turn, get rid of Daka, heal back up. And I'll be using this in 3v3s in future. 53 banners, you don't lose the additional banner from taking a third character. Fairly straightforward to do. And it lets us save our GK as well. So we've got a JTR team here, and I'm pretty certain I didn't know what to take against it, because I wanted to save my Traya to take out the Mon Mothma team, I believe, in the Backwall. And we've got a few difficult teams now. Like I said earlier, I think if we'd have used the correct comp versus the JML team at the start, we wouldn't have struggled so much. But the problem with 3v3 is because there are so many teams on offense and defense, as soon as you start dropping battles, it becomes very difficult to try and get a full clear. So I tried to take in a Basti, Jolie, and who do I take in as the last Jedi? Yeah, I tried to think of this as sustain, but really I cannot overcome the massive gear advantage. These guys are all maxed out relics. Got R7, R2D2, R7 JTR, and an R3 Resistance Han. I thought maybe this might be able to do some work. At the start I was quite confident, but as soon as he hit these exposes through the bonus tenacity, I was like, oh wow, okay, we're in so much danger right now. And it all goes to pot. I shouldn't have taken this, but I was trying to save stronger teams to take out in the south section. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out for me. Get all that stun, and we get absolutely mollywopped. Oof, all those attacks from Resistance Han. And I was like, why do you have to target my Jolie? Hit someone else. They yeet out our Ahsoka. And yeah, we are looking pretty bad. So there we go, we get completely TM rolled and destroyed. I shouldn't have taken in that team. I shouldn't have taken that in that team. I could have used that team against the Nightsisters in the south and not preloaded this team. But it is what it is. Hindsight, like I said, guys, is always 50-50. 50-50, 20-20. We try to go in with Echo, Arc, and Barriss now, and I believe this also fails. So really, we just end up throwing away so much for nothing, guys. I don't think we really should have healed there. I think we probably should have basicked on JTR to get rid of the Foresight. Nice little counter attack there from Arc. Place the turret down. But at this point, because that JTR was hidden, if we'd have got rid of the Foresight earlier with Barriss, I think we probably would have killed JTR by now, but we lose another good team. So this is a lesson on getting tilted in GAC, guys. I'm very susceptible to getting tilted. If my plans don't go quite as I wanted them to, I tend to lose my rag and make silly mistakes like this. So in the end, I cave and decide to use Traya with Scion over here and throw in Wat's Tambour to get a bit of extra recovery. I was fairly certain that if I didn't take Wat Tambour in here, we would not be able to survive the onslaught from JTR. So I definitely thought I needed to take in Wat to make sure that our tank stays alive. We go ahead and isolate R2D2 so he cannot stealth people. Maybe it would be better to isolate JTR here, I'm not quite sure. We're going in, for me, untreaded ground right now, so I was kind of winging it. Now I know that Traya is going to cleanse those debuffs, but he's also got the tank tech that's also going to cleanse the debuffs, so I'm not concerned about missing a turn. Go ahead and go after Vet Smuggler Han here. The attacks out of turn that he's incurring right now is actually killing him thanks to Traya's lead. And yeah, we just cleanse the burning over here on Wat. And Old Han dies. We get our Held by Hatred, so we're definitely going to survive right now. We work on R2D2. And I think he's about to die. He tries to stealth, but obviously the Isolate is stopping him from passing buffs. We'll cleanse off all the bad stuff that JTR is doing to us, and we just get rid of R2D2. Now we're just down to JTR, and we shouldn't have too much of a problem here. Just try and recover a little bit of protection. Get the Isolate off on JTR. No more buffs for her. and then she's cleared out. 22 banners, guys. What good victories. What good victories. So we do clear through to fleet. Take a look at the fleet back wall. He did pretty bad on my fleet, but we see why. He's got a negotiator on defense, so he didn't have that for offense, and the Empire up at the north there. So I keep both of my get to fleets for offense. I almost always do, simply because it's the best way of guaranteeing that you clear out the fleets. So I decide to go in with standard fleets for me. I take in the additional reinforcements here because the way I'm looking at it, you know, it's more important for me to try and ensure that we get the victory. He does have a Relic 8 Kenobi, so I didn't want to take in a mirror match. Unfortunately, this particular setup is an anti-Malevolence setup. So, yeah, I was a little bit anxious about taking this team in because I just don't know, is he going to have the correct reinforcement lineup where he gets Plo out straight away and cleanses all those buzz droids? Is he not? Are we going to have favourable or unfavourable RNG with the assists? We'll figure it out. So here it comes. No Plo, which I'm kind of happy about. If it's Plo at the start, it can really cause some serious issues. We start spreading around those buzz droids again. Go and immediately bring in Spy here. We want to get the target on Anakin, but we get it on Ahsoka. So we go ahead and clear out Ahsoka, or very nearly do. She survives by the skin of her teeth. And then we take out Ahsoka and then take out Jedi Knight Anakin. At this point, I feel relatively comfortable because we've gotten rid of the key ships on their side. You know, without having Ahsoka there, without having Anakin there, it becomes a lot more manageable to beat this team. We've just got a tank and we've got Umbaran Starfighter to deal with. I know that he is going to have his ultimate pretty soon, so we want to try and clear out as much as possible and get another reinforcement in. And he does bring in Rex, and we've got 5s to deal with. So focus down 5s because he's the threat. Every time he kills one of those vulture droids, it's giving me additional TM on my capital ship. I go ahead and bring in Soldier over here because I want to have additional units that are not summoned units, so that when his ultimate hits, I've got characters that can survive. So we start spreading some more. He's got that unending loyalty buff out again, but not much we can do about that. I decide we're going to go ahead and cleanse these debuffs by targeting the Hyena Bomber and start working on Rex. It's a bit of a long drawn out battle here, a little bit messy, a little bit sloppy. He does bring in his Plo as his last reinforcement, but at this point we've kind of controlled the field enough. There's no real big damage on his side of the field, so I'm quite comfortable that we've got the win here. We get our ultimate off before he gets his, and that kind of puts the last nail in the coffin for Fleet. We do know that our banners are not going to be great for this, simply because the battle's dragged on so long. So we get 57, which is really bad. And then we've just got the Empire fleet up here. I decide to take in the Negotiator. At this point, I don't really care about my banners because we've definitely lost, but I still just take in Plo as the reinforcement so I can practice this battle for future GACs and TWs. So it's pretty straightforward, this battle, guys. You just want to try and control the field, and you want to take out the Imperial TIE Bomber as soon as possible, leaving his Imperial TIE Fighter for last, which can evade attacks. Now, I decide to basic the Umbaran with the Umbaran Starfighter against the Imperial TIE Bomber, just to start working on it. He does get that burning down, but I'm not particularly concerned. Do a nice big AoE here, and it's looking kind of pretty. All we have to do now is target the alt, and we get the big special off from Umbaran, more or less clear the field, which is great. And yeah, that's going to about do it. We come in, we bring in Plo, cleanse off all that burning, give ourselves some additional TM, and just take him out. 68 banners there, much better than the first battle. Now I decide to take in this Resistance team to try and get some work done on this Nightsister team, see what we can do. They don't have a particular lot of health, and there's a very weak Talia there, so I thought, okay, it's quite likely I'll be able to do something. Get rid of Talzin because I don't want a spreading plague. And then it's just a case of let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. Hindsight, probably should have attacked basic there on Nightsister Spirit to get rid of the Foresight, but we didn't do that. Get rid of the foresight, and now it's a case of fighting spirit over her foresight. Because she gains it all the damn time. Probably should have gone for the big hit there, but hey ho. We got another team down, but I believe it's probably one of the last teams we get down because I am more or less completely out of squads now. I do try and go up against this Nute team with Old Republic. I never use Old Republic on offense, but I thought the assists from the Carthonasi lead, along with Mission and Zalbar to call each other to assist, I thought maybe we could chew through that B1 stack just through attacking out of turn all the time. But unfortunately, we get controlled straight away by Nute, and it kind of spells the end of the match there because we've got less speed. And they get lots of bonus speed, so I can't quite take out that B1 stack in time. We get some good damage done on it, but it's not really enough. And as you know guys, if you don't take out the full stack of B1 in a round of TW or GAC, then all that happens is it gets reset to 100 stacks at the end. We got quite close, but really, this was a Hail Mary from me, just trying to get anything cleared out that I possibly could. I do this to try and recover some additional protection, but we know that the B1 over there is going to AoE my mission out of here. It was a good attempt. And that about does it, guys. I wasn't able to clear out any more of those teams. I got very salty, and yeah, it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. So yeah, F's in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, because I failed quite miserably there. Thank you for watching. If you did like it, like seeing me fail, please hit that like button. Consider subscribing to your boy Scribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out. Just giving a quick shout out to my patrons. I appreciate each and every single one of you, and without your support, I wouldn't be doing this today. Thanks so much.